Happy birthday to me. It is true. I am making this video on the morning of my 39th birthday. Yes, during the COVID-19 lockdown of 2020. So how does it feel to turn 39 during this time? Well, my initial thought is, I'm glad it's this year and not next year. When I turn 40, I'm glad I don't have to celebrate that in lockdown. And it only reinforces, I want to go pretty big on 40. When I turn 40, I want it to be a big deal. I want to have a big party and do all that stuff, which normally that's not how I feel, but now it makes me want to celebrate that much more. Do I feel old being 39? I will say that when I woke up this morning, just a little while ago, there was a song that immediately came to mind. Recently on Saturday Night Live, they had a little animated short called Middle-Aged Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's the same as the original TV show song, but they say middle-aged instead of teenage. And it's just these montage, these little bookmarks of things that middle-aged men encounter. And my favorite little part of it was when it showed one of the Ninja Turtles. He had already pulled his garbage can out to the front of the road. Well, then it shows him bringing the recycling. And it's so funny, it captured so much of how I feel. So he pulls the recycling up to the curb and it kind of like gets stuck on the curb. This is like just a 2-second little clip which shows this, but of like, I'm able to pull so much from it. So he pulls the recycling and it kind of gets stuck and he just goes, so just having to take a deep breath over silly recycling, because I know the truth. I'm an educated man. I know that most of our plastic in the United States doesn't get recycled. It gets sent over to Asia. China at this point is rejecting it. So now we're having to send it to other Asian countries and then they just dump it in the ocean. Like, that's the reality of it. Like, it's completely pointless, but I go through the motions of taking this recycling out every day. Or every other week. Okay, it's Wednesday, but is it every other Wednesday? Let me see if so yes, that relates so much. I definitely can relate to middle-aged mutant Ninja Turtles. This also was the year. It was funny because I had decided, you know what? I am gonna finally join the gym because I was a vegan for 7 years and then I started gaining weight. And I gained just all my weight back by the time I turned 35. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna be the guy that works out in the gym every day. And it was going great. So I paid for the whole year. This was just recently. And man, I was dedicated. I was going every day for at least an hour and 15 minutes. I lined my diet up exactly, doing the whey protein smoothies, really focusing on protein, so a lot of lean chicken and all that stuff. At the 30-day mark, I drove home from the gym. I thought, man, I've been at this for 30 days. I've been hitting it hard. And they had this thing that I guess it's the sled, where it's like this metal thing that you like drag across the AstroTurf. And I could get to where I could do it 3 times without stopping. I mean, really built up my heart. You know, I run 3 miles a couple days a week anyway. I was able to just effortlessly run 3 miles. Man, I'm feeling great. So at the 30-day mark, I looked at my calendar, like, wow, it's been exactly 30 days I've been committed to going to the gym, and you better believe what happened. You got the text message, sorry. The government is forcing us to close down the gym until further notice. So yeah, that's how 39 feels a little bit, because man, so yeah, I'll eventually, they'll open the gym up and I'll be able to go back and do that thing. I'll get to be the guy who's one of those guys who, even 40s and beyond, who's gonna be going to the gym regularly. Because I recognize that without that, I will just turn into the ultimate dad bod, worse and worse every day. So I'm mentally, I'm there. But yeah, that just happened. It's been a ball. It's actually been about a month without the gym. So there we go. As far as other things that are going through my mind, well, let me show you. So as far as my birthday, what I really wanted is I got a bikini top for my Jeep. So it's a hard top, but ultimately I took the hard top off, and this is just to protect you from the sun and the rain, so the kids can be back there. And what's funny, of course, even though it's April, it has either been too cold or too rainy to really be able to enjoy that. But that's what I did for myself as far as what I would want for my birthday, turning 39. And as far as in an existential point of view, you know, last year I turned 38 and it was my existential crisis. It was a matter of me realizing, wow, I've checked off all of the boxes, all the things I've wanted to do. At that point, all my goals I had reached, and it kind of freaked me out. So I had to start coming up with new life goals. 39 is not that. It's a lot of it, honestly, it's me coming with terms of my own mortality. A lot of the songs I've been writing, if you've been able to see those on this channel, I've been sharing them on Facebook as well, but I've been writing a lot of songs. I have time now because I've already said this earlier in the video, but I'm on furlough for my job. I have a great job, but unfortunately it was affected. So in theory, I'll be able to go back as soon as July 1st. It's basically like a 90-day furlough. So I'm at home with the kids while my wife works upstairs from home, and I'm shooting videos in my garage when they're taking naps and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, a lot of my songs mention death, mention life after death, that sort of thing, because that's what I'm going through. So if you want to check out any of those songs, you can see that. And speaking of, I also recently posted a song on here on this channel called If I Didn't Have a Girl to Impress. And in that chorus, it says something to the effect of, tell me who I am if it's not you next to me. And it was a song I wrote about my wife, but I feel, and I'm coming to terms with that, is ultimately that a lot of my identity as now a 39-year-old man it's like my identity gets overlapped in my family, which should be. I mean, in theory, how can you be a good husband if you're not a good father? How can you be a good father if you're not a husband? And so it gets to the point where I can't see myself anymore. I don't even know who I am because my decisions are based on other people, which is how it should be. But I think it's gotten to the point where I don't really know who I am. So it's not the same as the existential crisis of what's my purpose in life kind of thing. Now it's who am I? And as I'm making this video, I realize, oh, okay, that's what I'm going through right now. It's a different type of existential crisis. It's a matter of, I know who I am, but as far as focusing on myself, it's a weird concept because, again, my identity is overlapped in my family, which is how it should be. But it's funny because we've gone a whole year without Netflix. We basically took a fast from that. But my sister basically got me gave me some money and said, hey, use this money and buy Disney Plus or Hulu or Netflix. So I did. And so now I've opened the door back to Netflix. And I think it's helped me, even though it's just been last night. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to catch back on some of these shows. Now I can see Stranger Things 3, etc. And I think that's something I actually need to focus on this year is what are things that make me happy? So it's like I'm keeping this mental list so far of things that make me happy as a 39-year-old because I feel that on some level I have neglected my own happiness needs, which when I think of happy, oh, that's superficial. But I think that I do need to start doing that. So for example, I love the Jeep, so we're gonna make sure that once the weather starts warming up and drying up, we'll go on more drives, of course. For dinner, what am I gonna have for dinner on my 39th birthday dinner? Of course, restaurants being closed, I don't really wanna do takeout. We did takeout yesterday, actually. Paleo pancakes. They have these paleo pancakes that you buy the mix for, and they're so good. I told my wife, honestly, that's really what I want. I just want paleo pancakes for dinner. So that's what we're gonna do, and it's going to be great. But yeah, that's what I have to think about. I have to think about, I'm losing my identity to some degree because that's what happens, I think, to a lot of men, especially at this age. So I need to think, what's going to make me happy? Because I think psychologically it's a matter of, but I don't deserve to spend time focusing on myself because, again, that becomes part of a man's identity at this point. But I think I've been so focused on other people that I need to spend just a little bit of time to balance that out, to make sure I'm, quote, happy and I'm doing things that I enjoy. So there you go. That's how I feel on the morning of my 39th birthday in the midst of the COVID-19 lockdown. Your comments belong right here.